Hello, Hess Toy Truck fans. Here's today's snippet of our exclusive interview with Hess Toy Truck, verbalized for maximum dramatic impact and entertainment value. Fan question. In our last interview, you stressed the importance of consumer insights, and it seems they've really paid off with the long-requested fan favorite tow truck and ambulance releases in 2019 and 20, respectively. Are there more fan feedback models in the pipeline? Hess Toy Truck answer. Insights include more than just listening to fan requests for items. We consider a ton of information when it comes to considering what models we bring into the pipeline. Examples of things we consider insights are general toy trends, technology trends as it relates to how kids play, competitor toy company products, survey feedback we gather from both existing and prior customers, historical sales results for our own toys, and even upcoming entertainment releases, which typically drive a lot of the toy trends. All that tends to lead to a very big toy chest of ideas that we explore through the pipeline product development process, so it's very likely that fan feedback models, as you call it, are included in that broad pipeline. But whether they ultimately make it to marketing and how long that might take will depend on many other things such as manufacturing capabilities, cost, and ensuring we aren't repeating products that have been already released by us, at least for a long time and with enough changes to be a real differentiated improvement. Fan question. What need was the plush line of Hess Toy Trucks created to fill? Hess Toy Truck answer. The plush line of toys was created to allow the toy truck tradition to start at an even earlier age. Insights showed us that many kids under the age of 3, which is the safety age rating for our toys, were playing with toys and sleeping with them as if they were their nighttime buddy, using the bright lights to comfort them in an otherwise dark room. We felt we could solve that need for our youngest fans by doing it with a plush that is safe for newborns, had age-appropriate sound effects, a mute feature to avoid accidentally startling them while sleeping, and the soothing night light feature with an auto shut-off timer so batteries wouldn't be wasted. It also allowed for gift givers to see immediate gratification at the holiday times versus gifting a new baby their first Hess truck but having to save it for a few years before they could play with it. Fan question. 1964 started the Holiday Series, 1998 started the Mini Series, and recently, 2020, started the Plush series of Hess Toy Trucks. Any indicators of a fourth series, thus making Hess Toy Truck truly a year-round experience? Hess Toy Truck answer. The introduction of the plush has already made Hess a year-round gift-giving opportunity. The plush is an ideal gift for baby showers, new baby birthdays, and early-in-the-year holidays such as Valentine's Day and Easter. We aim to be able to shift the annual launch time of the plush release earlier than we have in the past few years once the supply chain normalizes and our product development cycle time improves with experience. And of course, there could be additional programs from time to time, such as the collector's editions that we did in 2014 and 2018, that would provide another purchase opportunity at a different time of the year. Fan question. 1988 debuted the first 2-in-1, and in 1997 the first 3-in-1. When can we expect the first 4-in-1 Hess Toy Truck model? Hess Toy Truck answer. Did you miss it? We had a 4-in-1 and a 5-in-1 mini set. Assuming you really mean just to ask about the holiday toy, when we think of new products, we don't necessarily think more equals better. We want to ensure great quality and features like sounds, lights, and motors. Adding more standalone vehicles comes at an increasingly high cost. We are very sensitive to rising prices, especially since inflationary pressures are taking their toll on everyone these days. So simply adding more items would drive the price up beyond a point we are uncomfortable with. While it's possible many fans would rather have more items included at either a higher price or at the trade-off of sound or motors, we don't think that best represents the type of quality and play value we want to provide. To deliver a set of toys that includes, say, 4, 5, 6+ vehicles, we'd have to think differently about the scale, feature set, and/or price points, all things we constantly evaluate. Fan question. Hess toy trucks have a history paying tribute to emergency, fire, and rescue services. Are there any plans in the future to represent our armed forces? Hess toy truck answer. Many of our historical toys are inspired by armed forces vehicles. The Air Force specifically was the inspiration for the most recent 2021 cargo plane and jet, as well as for the 2010 toy and the 2 helicopters from the 2001 and 2012. And take a closer look at many of the SUV-style vehicles we have released. The 2004 toy truck is heavily inspired by military vehicles. Secondary vehicles, such as those included in those helicopters, as well as the rescue included with the 2020 ambulance, were all heavily inspired by our armed forces. While our holiday-spirited ads haven't specifically featured armed forces in action, we could not be bigger supporters of those who serve in our military. We give thanks every day for the sacrifices they and their loved ones make. They are our heroes. Fan question. Taking into consideration current child safety laws and any known manufacturing limitations, is it possible to produce a new battery-powered Hess toy vehicle that floats? Hess toy truck answer. Okay, here we go again. We are well familiar with the fact that many folks sank their Voyagers to the abyss of their bathtubs in the 1960s, and that was a clear insight that customers expect a boat should float. And yes, you are hitting on a key issue, which is the mix of water and electronics. I will admit we've studied many bath toys to understand the durability and longevity of doing a battery-powered Hess boat that kids can play with in the tub or the pool. The reality is that much would have to be sacrificed, including very limited non-flashing lighting and no sounds. And even with those sacrifices, we fear the life of the toy would not last long enough to pass to the next generation, given most bath toys are subject to mold issues quite quickly. So, the long answer is yes, it's possible to make a battery-powered toy that floats, but not one that meets the Hess standards. Fan question. A pie chart has been crafted of the overall Hess toy truck audience. What percentages would be given to what populations? Hess toy truck answer. Boy, do we have a lot of pie charts. We have them by age of buyer, age of gift recipient, geography, gender, income, length of purchase, length of collection, number of purchases, interests, hobbies, and even those who follow Mike Roberto versus not. Given all the possible ways to look at the Hess fan base, let's just leave it at there's a lot of data and folks fall into many different categories on many different pie charts. No one statistic defines a customer, and no two customers are the same. Fan question. Other than widgets delivered, how does Hess Corporation define a toy truck model year's success? Hess toy truck answer. In the early days of the program, success was really measured around incremental gasoline volume coming from visits to the stations during the promotional period, along with capturing new gasoline customers because of an affinity for the toy and/or the Hess brand. Over the decades, our view of success has really transitioned into the emotion and affinity for the toys that happens at the holidays between family members. Success is ensuring there is a Hess toy available to put under the Christmas tree or gift at Hanukkah. Success is when a child gets their first Hess truck or plush now. Success is when grandpa bonds with their new grandchild over imaginative Hess toy play. Success is when fans recommend new products that they would love. Success is seeing older kids show off their collection they've grown. Success is someone seeing the holiday commercial and immediately having a touching memory of a parent who has passed. Success is family and love that happens to involve the Hess truck. Fan question. Currently, it appears the mini Hess toy truck line would eventually come to an end, as previously released trucks would eventually all be covered in the next few years.
What words of encouragement can you offer besides "don't worry" that could ignite the imagination and fan the flames of anticipation for what minis are to come? Hess Toy Truck answer: things aren't always as they appear. Let your imaginations run wild and see if you too can see opportunities that we see. Fan question: not only does 2024 represent the toy truck's 60th anniversary, but the 10th anniversary of the sale of all the Hess retail stations that we all grew up on. With that said, is there any chance of a return of, say, John Hess Fuels, or in this new zeitgeist of electric-powered vehicles, a forward-thinking service station of the future? Hess Toy Truck answer: while I'm not involved in the energy side of the Hess business, I've not heard of any plans to get back into the station business.
Question: understanding there's no more Hess gas stations, there have been years, mostly 1982 through 87, that the toy truck box had other than station contextual art settings. With that said, what are the plans for the future of the box design? Hess Toy Truck answer: when we sold the gas stations, it no longer made sense for us to have the traditional gas station scenes, or refineries for that matter. So, we undertook an evaluation of what the box should be going forward. We landed on going back to our roots, where the focus as far as back as the late 60s and early 70s was not the scenery, but the toy itself. Our current artwork, which is an extremely detailed drawing of the actual toy product from all angles, allows the toy itself to be the hero and more largely displayed on the side of the box for those who prefer to keep their toys in the box. After all, we think the toy is itself a piece of art. Fan question: if bringing back box artwork is not an option, have you considered scaling up this standalone mini packaging box with the front/top window display and use that for the holiday truck, thus allowing for full glorious display of the Hess Toy Truck while still inside its box? Hess Toy Truck answer: boy, that sure looks like someone copied our glassware set box design, doesn't it? Our holiday box is designed with shipping durability in mind, meaning it needs to be super well protected as it is jostled around by the transportation network. And more tactically, for those who take the toy out of the box, what would be the point of displaying an empty box? We explored and solved that with the design of the 2018 Collector's Edition box, which had the old image of the Hess fleet to remain on display if the toy was removed from the box. But you'll note we added the exterior hero artwork on the side flap as well, thus allowing for a full, glorious display of the Hess Toy Truck. Your words. Of course, that type of box design is more expensive and has been limited to the higher price point Collector's Edition items. Fan question: a decades-old prototype exists with figures meant to fit inside the truck's opening doors. Can this concept ever be revisited to make a future model better than ever? Or perhaps a Hess Station attendant action figure? We could all collect the trusted man in white in both classic white and winter coat greeting uniforms. Hess Toy Truck answer: you touch on a good example of trade-offs in product design here. In the design pictured, we have a simple single vehicle concept with minimal lighting and without sound. So there is very little electronic components and wiring needed. As you add more lights and sounds, you need space for components such as chips, more wires, and speakers. And of course, you need space for secondary, tertiary, and apparently, per your previous request, a fourth item included. How would it all fit? The size of the primary vehicle would simply become unmanageable, driving up manufacturing and shipping costs. One of the ways that we have managed to avoid even faster price increases in the face of huge cost increases is the creative way we are able to use the inside of the cab space for electronics as well as enlarging the accompanying vehicles. That has resulted generally in the cab windows being blackened out and the doors sealed. A good example of how we use that space is the 2016 Dragster, which would not have been able to wheelie without a very long nose, which in turn had to fit inside the cab from the flatbed area.
And the most recent example is the 2021 jet, which would not have been nearly the size it ended up being if we couldn't slide the nose inside the cab portion of the cargo plane. Of course, where there is more of an open-aired cab, we have included drivers. Examples are the 2002 biplane, motorcycles, and the 2018 ATV. Fan question. Justin, you're the first person not related to Leon Hess to be entrusted to take over the reins of the Hess Toy Truck legacy. How did you start with Hess Corporation, and was it your passion to acquire such a position? And was there anything that you personally championed for that you were able to see until completion? Hess Toy Truck answer. That's not an accurate statement. Over the decades, there have been several non-Hess family members intimately involved in overseeing the toy truck program. For most of our history, the toy promotion was run under the leadership of the gas station and later convenience store businesses. Within that organization, there were a range of folks involved with responsibilities ranging from box art design to logistics coordination to sales reporting and, of course, marketing, none of whom were Hess family members. Personally, I joined Hess 15 years ago and held several different positions on both the energy marketing and the retail marketing, gas station and convenience stores, businesses. My first experience related to the Hess Toy Truck was the year I joined, where my role as head of consumer insights, as you might have guessed, included research work on the toy truck specifically. In the most recent years leading up to the divestiture of the stores, I had overseen the IT organization for the station/stores and then led a marketing and innovation team which included a broad mix of marketing and promotion and in-store operational components. It was within this position that I worked more specifically on the Hess Toy Truck directly, including launching the e-commerce store in 2012 and the app games in 2013 and 2014. When the retail stores divested and the announcement was made that the toy would continue, I happened to be deemed most qualified, having demonstrated success in retail operations, marketing, and e-commerce, as well as a deep knowledge of the Hess Toy Truck from, the years of insights work. I was very grateful and excited for the opportunity to use a blend of my IT, marketing, and strategy skills. And I was really touched by the trust placed in me to ensure the iconic program's continued success without the nearly 1,400 stores that served as the sole outlet for the preceding 50 years. And admittedly, very scared too. To be clear, I don't do this alone, and we should all be thankful and immensely proud of the work my team has done to migrate the toy truck business from the gas stations to e-commerce, keep the beloved tradition of the holiday and mini toys, and introduce new lines such as the collector's edition and plush programs. My team and I look forward to the many things coming down the road that we know fans will love. Question. Finally, are there updates to any of the things we've previously discussed from our first interview in 2020? Hess Toy Truck answer. Based on some of your interpretations of my previous interview answers, I wanted to clarify 2 points. First, the mobile museum does not exist any longer. It was designed for a single-use event tour. If we wanted to do another tour in the future, we would be starting over with a new vehicle. Second, you felt I didn't answer your question about whether there were historical toys that we wished we had produced more of. The short answer is not really. Please look previous to how we have defined success. Hess Toy Truck fans, tell YouTube's algorithm you want more content like this. Don't delay, subscribe today. HessTruckBooks.com. No affiliation or endorsement by Hess Corporation. The full interview and rebuttals are coming soon. Stay tuned, like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff because you know what? You deserve it and so do we. Thank you.